Kenner Toys used to do these little booklets showing off their toy lines. And here's a 1991 little book advertising them. Plenty of Batman action figures from the original 1989 movie. Really cool to see a lot of this displayed out like this, even though it was basically an advertisement. But these were handy when you were a kid. You could see what else was supposed to be out there and what you might want. We got a lot of the figures. I've been doing videos on a lot of these figures and things, because that is what I do here. That's how I ended up with this book, of course. We got some deluxe from the line. Been hunting those too. Even some vehicles I didn't really recall previously. So these are pretty handy even for me, even though I'm trying to check different checklists and things online. It's a pretty good one right here in this book. Not really a Bat vehicle that I've seen too often. And a car for the Joker of the time either. Looks like a fun kind of Batcopter toy that you launch up into the air. New. The classic playset, Wayne Manor. Definitely will be going over that here on this channel too. That was one of my favorite little playsets. Although I had the Batman Returns one that was extremely similar even in color. But things like the monitor had like the Penguin and Catwoman on it instead of the Joker. And of course, like role play kind of toys. You had your little Bat gadgets, shooting stuff. Playing around as a kid, that would have been cool. I did have one cool Batman gun before. I'm not seeing it here, but it had like spinning disc kind of things. I just had a homemade mask my mom made, not one of the store-bought roleplay toys. Here we got Robin Hood, the old 90s movie. Had some sweet action figures from Kenner that had a lot of like cloth clothes and things, and a pretty nice little line there. Even if you didn't like the movie, they were just kind of cool medieval kind of action figures and stuff. Here, of course, the old playset that's a reuse from Star Wars, like Endor with the Ewoks, famously. Always a few instances of reusing from Kenner. Catapults and things as well. I think I only ever had one Robin Hood figure that was probably from clearance. And Swamp Thing was really big back then. Had a huge toy line behind him. I have a little video about some of these as well that I ended up with as a kid and played with a lot. Never got to see the cartoon very often that it was based off of. It was cool when I did. I never got to have any of these villain dudes that would be pretty interesting to get a hold of. So I'm always considering what things to kind of finish collecting since I do have some of these figures. A lot of vehicles and playsets even behind him. Swamp Thing's not one you hear too much about anymore. He was fairly large in the toy aisle for a while there. Of course, Kenner kind of did some of their sport stuff here. Did so many, they just have name lists here. There's not many pictures to see. I do always remember these in the trading card aisle that would actually have the action figures and stuff, the sports. With Beetlejuice put behind the sport page. Definitely had at least one Beetlejuice figure, probably this shrunken head one. I didn't even know they made a lot of these other ones. So another one to always consider. I delve into Beetlejuice, although it's not particularly my favorite old movie or anything. But I do always remember watching the cartoon more. Even had some vehicle stuff there. Pretty unique looking. Bill and Ted getting their own action figure line. That's surprising. I like the historical figures line. Plus Rufus even. Those would be pretty cool just to see. Even some general release dates of some things that weren't quite released just yet, but were advertised in here. I'm wondering if these even really came out. You got a tape player themed after them. That's kind of cool. A little like amp speaker that you can kind of play. Or if you could get the tape of the soundtrack of the movie playing with the figures, that'd be pretty cool. The telephone booth would be a hell of an awesome toy to go with them doing all their time traveling. I would absolutely love just like a toy line looking like this of Back to the Future with the car and Marty in his different costumes and stuff. Would have played with that like crazy. Making up a little motorcycle vehicle for the boys there. Whoa! Ooh, a little bit of end of the line Ghostbusters stuff here. A couple waves in, some different variations of the Busters with different ghost or accessories and features things. Definitely a bigger toy line than just the first initial figures. So many here, different versions, and then the monsters as well. Very cool. Extra vehicles outside of just the Ecto-1. Here's an Ecto-1 re-release that had like color change sliming features and things like that, so they've kind of re-released it, as well as these other vehicles. And of course the kid-size roleplay toys, various proton pack ghost catching things. Of course in the ad they always had like a full Ghostbuster outfit. It would have been cool to have, but more Ghostbuster weapons. The trap, I always wanted the trap. Just really cool. You push the pedal and opens up, catches the ghost. Ooh, and a cryptic ad at the very end of the booklet. Or the claw. A transforming remote control truck. We show a lot of retro action figure stuff here. Opening up, finishing lines I already had as a kid, or just showing what I had as a kid and things like that. So if these kind of toys interest you, you might want to get subscribed. Stick around here because there'll be a lot more than just booklets shown. We'll actually look at some of the actual toys. Hoping to see you in the next video then. Oh, I'm gonna look at this Batman stuff again. Oh yes.